And welcome to On the Money with Secure Money. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Brian Quaranta. He is founder and president of Secure Money Advisors, as well as Neil Major, senior investment advisor. Brian, how are you today?
Cynthia, I am great. So good to see you again.
It's so good to see you as well. Nice to be here. Neil, how are you?
I'm great, Cynthia. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'm so looking forward to our show today because obviously we know we've had a lot of viewer call in. We've had a lot of viewer questions. They've been in the pipeline. They've been waiting patiently.
Yeah.
So I would love to spend today addressing viewer questions.
Let's do
Would
it.
that be okay?
Yeah, let's do it. Yep.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to take the first one?
Let's see who can give the better advice. Is it going to be me or Neil?
Let's do it.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Who's grading?
I love it. I love it. Well, Neil, I'm going to guide this to you then. It says, I'm 67 years old, Neil, and I intend to take Social Security benefits at age 70. My wife turned 65 years old in June. She does not have the minimum 40 credits of work to get her Social Security retirement benefits. When she turns 65, can she claim spousal benefits? If so, how will they be calculated? If she claims spousal benefits, will they have any effect on my benefits when I claim at age 70?
That's a mouthful. Very good question, though. I would just ask that maybe we revisit the Social Security strategy because your wife is eligible for spousal benefits, but she's not eligible until you start claiming your benefits. That's when she would be eligible. Okay, so if you wait till 70, she's not going to be eligible until, what would that make her, like 68, 67?
Yeah.
So she won't be eligible till then. Now, she's also only eligible to receive 50% of your primary insurance amount of benefits, which is simply your full retirement age benefits. So she's not going to have any advantage for you waiting till 70, okay? Now, that's going to have no impact whatsoever on your benefits. If at age 70 you're due to get $3,000 a month, you'll get your $3,000 a month and she'll get whatever the spousal benefit is. Now, we do a lot of math at Secure Money Advisors around Social Security. And I'll tell you, that strategy, most likely, unless you live to like 99, 100, is probably not going to be the most favorable strategy if you just look at it in terms of math.
Okay.
So I would come into our office for a second opinion. We base things, obviously, on income planning. It's the first thing that we solve, and Social Security is a primary part of that income planning. But there might be a better route and direction to go there.
I think the big takeaway from what Neil just said is that there's no extra benefit to the spouse for him waiting till 70.
Okay.
Right. So she's going to get her spousal benefit, and he's pretty close. He could probably turn it on right now, and she get her full spousal benefit.
Okay.
So him waiting isn't going to make much of a difference there at all. So
all right.
That's the big takeaway.
Sense. Okay. All right, Neil. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you. So this is a great question as well, and this is for you, Brian. My wife and I file taxes jointly. We are both approaching 50 years of age. We currently have a combined $750,000 in traditional 401k money. Both of us are still working and have a taxable income of about $150,000. I want to switch future contributions from my traditional 401k to a Roth 401k. We currently give $35,000 a year to our 401k, which, if I switch to a Roth 401k, will push us into the 24% tax bracket. My goal is to have some untaxable income to fade our tax burden in retirement. Is this a bad idea?
No, not at all. I mean, making contributions to the Roth portion is good. I mean, obviously, we are delaying paying taxes when we're not putting money into a Roth. So I see no problem with it at all. I mean, I like to see people mixing up the monies that they're contributing to the 401k, and it's only been recently that the 401ks allow that Roth component to be added, meaning now we can contribute money. We're not getting a tax deduction, as she was referring to, but the money that goes into the Roth portion is going to grow tax-free, and the income in the future is going to be tax-free. So there's a great advantage with that. Now, The only thing that they have to understand is that they're going to pay a little bit more in taxes, as was mentioned, right? Because she's not going to be able to take the deduction when she makes the contribution to the Roth component of the 401k. But listen, I do a conversion almost every single year on my money. I rip the Band-Aid off. I pay the taxes. Why? Because you got to believe tax rates are going to be higher in the future. And if you believe tax rates are going to be higher in the future, I always say, would you like to pay the taxes on the seed or the harvest? The seed is a lot lesser amount. The harvest is a bigger amount. So I would rather pay the taxes on the seed. And sometimes that means being a little bit uncomfortable, paying a little bit more taxes right now for a much greater benefit in the future when tax rates could be much, much greater.
Okay. All right. Brian, thank you so much. Neil, this next question is for you. It says, Neil, I have most of my money in a traditional IRA. I'm 66 years old. I'm still working. Is it better to convert to a Roth IRA and invest? And am I able to transfer the stocks in the traditional IRA, or do I have to sell them? Excuse me.
So a few points there, right? You're continuing to tell me that first part again.
Yeah. So she said, I have most of my money in a traditional IRA. I'm 66 years old. I'm still working.
Yep.
Is it better to convert to a Roth IRA and invest? Am I able to transfer the stocks in the traditional IRA, or do I have to sell them?
Yeah. So that's an interesting question. Roth is all the rage right now. Everyone wants to do a Roth. They're not exactly sure what it means, but they want to do a Roth. And it's a really great strategy, just like Brian was just talking about contributing to the Roth 401k. The conversion doesn't make sense for everybody. With this particular person, I have no idea what her future income is going to look like. Is she a single person that's only going to have a Social Security check, who needs very, very little to live off of from that traditional IRA, and maybe in a 0% tax bracket anyways in retirement? So do we need to convert? I don't know, unless I know more about our situation.
Convert, because tax-free money is better than taxable money, right?
Yeah.
But because there's so many variables in everybody's situation, that conversion could cause her to pay astronomical amount in taxes, because we don't know if she's married. We don't know if she's married, do we? We don't know if she's married. We don't know if she's single. We don't know what her income is. So the point is, conversion does have benefits, but there's a lot of variables that have to be calculated because of income thresholds and all kinds of stuff. It's very challenging, and it's not as straightforward as people would like it to be, and they think it is. They think, well, shouldn't I just convert and go from taxable to tax-free? Yeah, it's not really that easy. The whole situation needs to be evaluated to determine the true benefit from the conversion.
Okay, so really what it comes down to is really people need to come in to have a personal consultation so you can take a look at the total.
And they don't even need to come in and see us. Go see your advisor. Go see your advisor, because at the end of the day, you can't. They're not going to be able to make that decision on their own. Because there's too many variables. And if you're not getting the advice from your advisor to make that informed decision, then yes, come in and see us. Because we want to talk with people that want help. Right? We don't want to talk with people that are happy with their advisors and have no intentions of hiring us, right? We're more than happy to answer a few questions, but at the end of the day, we're looking for people that truly have concerns because they're not getting any advice. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Brian, I know that you and Neil have a very special offer to present to the viewers at home today. Let's talk about what that is and then open the phone lines.
The Right Track Retirement Review, folks, it's truly designed for you, because everybody comes in wanting to know if they're on the right track, and there's so many different things people want to know about their specific situation, and it's so hard to go through all the different variables on this show. But when you come in, we'll be able to talk specifically about your situation and help you get some more clarity and peace of mind around your retirement. So for the next 10 callers who call in right now, it's a complimentary Right Track Retirement Review that we're going to give away at no cost. All you got to do is call us today, 1-888-382-1298, and schedule your appointment.
Brian, thank you so much. Neil, thank you. To the viewers at home, the phone number to call is on your screen. That number is 888-382-1298. Like Brian and Neil have mentioned before, if you're not on the right track for retirement, wouldn't you want to know that today? This is your opportunity to call in and find out. That number is 888-382-1298. We're going to take a very short commercial break, but don't go anywhere. I have a lot more viewer questions to get through. The next one could be yours. Stay tuned.
See, everybody can tell you how to invest your money. There's not a lot of people out there and a lot of firms that can teach you how to use your money. Most people will also tell you that they're scared. And the reason they're scared is because they're afraid of running out of money.
The last thing you want to do is have a really good job into your 60s, retire, and be looking for work again in your late 70s.
The average person might say, well, a good portfolio would be a good mix of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. No, 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 no. A good portfolio is all designed around the 5 key areas: income, taxes, investments, healthcare, and legacy planning.
We're not just product pickers here. What we do best here is we build retirement plans.
9 out of 10 people, when they walk through the door, would ask us, we just want to know if we're on the right track. And I always say, if you're not on the right track, when would be a good time to know it? Probably now.
People, can actually see a vision once we start to really build out their plan.
This is about you. If you're not getting what you need, and you feel that when you walk out of the advisor's office, it's time to get a second opinion. And you can't get a second opinion from the person that gave you the first opinion. The difference at Secure Money Advisors, as a fiduciary firm, we help you manage the risk, build the income, and give you the retirement you dreamed of.
And welcome back to On the Money with Secure Money. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Brian Quaranta. He is founder and president of Secure Money Advisors, as well as Neil Majors, senior investment advisor. Gentlemen, I love today's show because it's all the viewer questions. They have been waiting so patiently, and so are you ready to keep going?
Let's keep going. Yep.
All right. Neil, I'm going to take this next one right to you. It says, Neil, in your opinion, what exactly is rebalancing a portfolio, and is it necessary, in your opinion? Is it necessary?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of different ways that we could look at rebalancing. I'm going to tell you the most simple way that we go about looking at it. Okay, and the viewer should just understand what needs to be done. So we break out money in different buckets, and the different buckets have a certain goal and task that money is responsible to do. Okay. Some of it's just to sit there and be safe and liquid. Some of it is to be safe and generate income, and some of it is to be more growth oriented. Okay, so we want to set up our 3 buckets: bank, pension, and risk, right? Now, our pension money is what we're going to use in the short term to generate our cash flow and our income in retirement. Okay, so we're going to typically want to use that money up over a 10 to 15 year time period. Now, that money enables the risk money to grow and deal with market volatility and not cause us a lot of concern. So what will happen at times is, as the years go by, our risk bucket is growing and our pension bucket is starting to decrease. So we want to continue to get the money positioned in the right way, set up for retirement. Now, we can also look at rebalancing in terms of different mutual funds and things like that, but that's just the most simple way for a viewer just watching the show for the first time to understand.
Okay.
Well, I would say this too. I mean, typical rebalancing has to do with the specific investments. Like if I have 3 mutual funds in an IRA account and they all have $25,000 apiece, and one over the course of the next 6 months grows from $25,000 to $50,000, one grows from $25,000 to $40,000, and the other one stays at $25,000. Rebalancing, and this is what they're probably referring to because they hear about it all the time with their 401ks. We rebalance your 401k for you. Yeah. It means they're going to equally split those investments now back amongst those 3, right? Okay. So you're not going to have 50,000 in this one anymore, 40 in this, or 25. They're all going to have the equal amount. And sometimes that's not a good thing to do. So that's what when people hear rebalancing, especially from their advisors or their 401k companies, that's what they're referring to. What Neil is referring to, though, is our approach of rebalancing a distribution plan as income is starting to be withdrawn and investments grow, and the distribution plan needs to be rebalanced so that it continues on without running out of money.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you both. Excellent responses to that question. So this is a great question, too, Brian. I'm going to actually just go ahead and give this to you. It says, what can cause a shortfall when you're talking about the retirement income gap?
Yeah, so a shortfall is really simple. So when you retire, there's going to be a certain amount of income that you need on a monthly basis, on an annual basis. So let's just look at it annually. Let's say you need $80,000 a year annually to live off of, and between your Social Security sources, maybe you're a married couple, you have $50,000 a year coming in. The shortfall is the difference between what you need and what you're getting in guaranteed income. So if I take what you need, $80,000, minus your Social Security, $50,000, I'm left with a shortfall of $30,000.
Yeah.
That's the problem that now needs to be solved. So how do you solve that? Well, that's exactly what we do at Secure Money Advisors. Through our bucketing approach, which Neil just kindly explained to us,
Yeah.
the 3 different buckets help us generate the cash flow to get the extra $30,000 so we can get you $80,000 a year in income. And then on top of it, a good plan would take into account inflation so that as cost of living goes up, you have more money coming in.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Neil, this is a great question. I'm going to guide it to you. It says, Neil, how do you keep track of so many different retirement and investment accounts for your many clients?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have a really great team at Secure Money Advisors to help and handle and assist us and make sure that we're making sure we're monitoring our clients' accounts, make sure that we're, people are in different stages of their life and require different things out of their investments. So, we have a great team, and the team helps in our situation. Brian's been very proactive about adding more staff much sooner than we need it.
Okay.
So we have people in place that, aren't, we're not trying to teach them on the fly.
Yeah.
So we have a great team in place that just kind of monitors. Brian, myself, we're in there each and every day, numerous
And
times.
the technology we use helps a lot too. We have technology
absolutely.
that flags us with specific, situations that might arise, especially we're dealing with the client's investment accounts.
Yeah.
And we all know this. I mean, technology can become our friend. Sometimes it can get in our way, but for the most part, it can become our friend, especially when it comes to monitoring. And, not only with the great staff and the team, but we also have great technology that kind of alerts us of things that we need to be considering for the clients, and that technology makes us look really good too. So does the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't beat having technology that can help us make educated decisions with data backing those decisions.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
That makes
But a
perfect
great team
sense.
too.
Yes, we have a great
Great
team. Can't express that enough. If you guys are listening, it's a great team.
All right, I love this. So, Neil, I'm going to ask you this next question. It says, can you help me understand what exactly is smart risk and smart safe when it comes to investing?
Smart risk and smart safe. That's an interesting question. I'm not real sure, Brian. How do you answer smart risk versus smart safe?
Yeah, as far as
I don't
investment
know.
classes.
I have no idea. Is that a real question?
Yes. Fortunately, it
Did
is.
somebody just make something up?
Yeah.
Well,
tying in
here's
with
what I
our
can say.
investments.
First off, I've never heard that question in my entire life. I didn't even know there was such thing as smart risk. But I will tell you what smart risk is.
Okay.
Because it's the risk I like to take. So most people, when they take risk, don't have anything that builds in downside protection. So here's how I would define smart risk. Do you know what cruise control is? We all know what cruise
Yes.
control is, right? So the old cruise control, you know the difference between cruise control and adaptive cruise control? Okay, if you don't, let me share this with you. So the difference between cruise control and adaptive cruise control. If I put my just regular cruise control on and I'm on the highway and all of a sudden a car cuts in front of me, what happens to regular cruise control? It just shuts off and my speed drops drastically, right? What does adaptive cruise control do? Adaptive cruise control, if that person cuts in front of me, adaptive cruise control senses it and taps the brakes and slows me down a little bit. It just doesn't shut off the cruise control to where my speed drops completely. Okay. So in investing, we use adaptive cruise control on our portfolios that we have at the office. What does that mean? Well, if the markets start to get volatile, rather than just getting out of the market, right, and not keeping the client position for growth, we have a portfolio through technology that taps the brakes a little bit, slows the portfolio down so we don't lose a lot of money. And that, to me, is smart risk.
Yeah.
Never heard of that before.
Sounds like smart risk.
But it's smart risk to me.
Now, smart safe might be.
Well, the smart, the market goes up, you make money. Market goes down, you don't lose any money.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
like a fixed index annuity.
Yeah, that would be
fixed
smart.
annuity,
That would be smart safe. There you go.
You answered it beautifully.
Yeah, there you go.
really did. Well, Brian, obviously you and Neil have a special offer to present today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what it is again before
This
we
is always
reopen.
the risk of taking the viewer questions, right?
You just never know. So they're not filtered, they're unscripted.
Yeah. So, folks, the Right Track Retirement Review, truly designed for you. Why? Because most people want to know if they're on the right track. You're probably wondering the same thing. If you weren't on the right track, when would you want to know that? When would be a good time? probably now. That's why right now for the next 10 callers, we're going to give you a complimentary Right Track Retirement Review. All you've got to do is pick up the phone and call us 1-888-382-1298 and schedule with us today.
Brian, thank you so much. Neil, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, the phone number to call is once again on your screen. That number is 888-382-1298. We're going to take a very short commercial break, but when we come back, I do have time for a couple more viewer questions, so stay tuned.
If I could help you increase your income, if I could help you pay less taxes, if I could help you potentially maximize the returns of your investments while reducing risk, reducing fees, if I could help you prepare for a health event, or more importantly, when the good Lord decides to take you home, to make sure that the money you've accumulated over your lifetime goes to your family and to your charities rather than the IRS, would that be worth the time to come in and get a second opinion?
Well, welcome back to On the Money with Secure Money. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Brian Quaranta. He is founder and president of Secure Money Advisors, as well as joined by Neil Majors, senior investment advisor. Gentlemen, a wonderful show. I love the viewer questions, so if you don't mind, we're going to keep going. Is that okay?
Let's do it.
All right. Neil, this is a great question. It says, in your opinion, is there a certain age where people should limit their exposure to the stock market?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there comes a point where, a portion of our money no longer needs to be at market risk, right? I mean, I personally own a fixed annuity myself, just with a portion of my money that I don't want to take risk with. So, what I consider the financial red zone is when you're really 10 years out from retirement. During that last 10 years, you want to make sure that everything goes according to plan so it doesn't move your retirement date, right? It doesn't move it back. And what you have to understand as you get closer and closer to that date, market volatility can impact that date. So if you're expecting to retire with $500,000 and that's your goal because you've laid out your income needs, and all of a sudden you're 2 years from retirement and the market experiences a 2008 scenario and you lose 40%, now you're down to 300, that changes the game, right?
Wow,
so now you're pushing back retirement. Now, obviously, we can't put all of our money underneath a mattress. We have to have the right balance and right mix of safe, principal protected investments and money that's designed to give us more growth, but more long-term growth, right? So absolutely, at least 5, I think more like 10 years, you want to make sure that that plan's in place.
Okay. All right, Neil, thank you so much. Brian, this is a great question, too. What is the best way for someone to diversify their risk and reduce volatility when it comes to investments?
Yeah, this is where the bucketing strategy is perfect for risk mitigation. Why? Because the 3 buckets control the risk. And if you don't know about our 3 buckets, they are bank money, pension money, risk money. So by separating money into separate buckets and identifying the purpose of that money and the task that that money needs to handle, you now can mitigate the risk. And by doing that, you're actually buying time back on the money that you do have at risk. So this is why we always like to put a portion, and this comes when people are ready to retire and generate income. You have to have a strategy to where we set some money aside that becomes our income, that gives us time for that risk money to grow, and that's how you protect that downside. You can also do it through the use of the financial products that you choose. So for example, there's product designs where if the market goes up, you make money. If the market goes down, you don't lose money. There's also product designs where we can use the use of very powerful computer algorithms where we can set a very specific drawdown number, and that drawdown number is just a fancy way of setting a number for how much money I can lose. So I can set that number at 5, I can set it at 7, I can set it at 10. So if I set it at 10 and all of a sudden the market drops and it loses 30%, if I set that drawdown number at 10, the portfolio is not going to go past that number. So these are all different risk mitigation techniques that you can use. Now what you can do is you can stack them on top of each other, right? So now you can use the bucketing strategy along with the financial risk mitigation products themselves, and now you're really mitigating across the board in every area of the financial plan.
Okay. All right, Brian, thank you.
We always talk
Neil?
about, we want, as human beings, we want everything, right? And with investments, there's only so many things each investment's going to do for you, right? And so investments are going to do a few of these. They're going to provide you income. They're going to provide you growth. They're going to provide you safety, and they're going to provide you liquidity. But what they can't do is provide you all four at the same time. If you think about the bank, I mean, the bank would be a great place to keep our money if we could. We have safety there. We have easy access, so we have liquidity there. But we're giving up growth, right? There's no growth in keeping our money at the bank. You know, the market is a great place for growth and liquidity. But what are we giving up there? We're giving up safety.
Yeah.
So when we talk about these buckets, we have to satisfy all four and have the right mix so we're able to get all four.
Yeah.
So we can have everything that we want, because as human beings, that's what we want.
Absolutely. Well, that makes perfect sense.
We get a lot of demands.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Listen, Brian, I'd like to make a lot of money, and I don't want to take any risk doing it.
That's what we hear.
Yeah, I'm sure you hear that every day.
We hear it every day.
Well, Neil, we have a question that's going to tie into estate planning. I think we have time to get through this one. It says, Neil, can you help me understand the difference, please, between a will and a trust, and what does it provide?
Yeah, so, you know, a very common question that comes into us, right? And a lot of people are confused about exactly what they need. You know, so basic wills are important to have for everybody, right? We want to make sure that we have the ability and powers of attorney, the ability to make decisions on family members and be able to pay our bills and things like that. So anybody that's coming into the office, we're going to direct you to make sure, and we're going to keep on you to make sure that you have the legal documents complete as far as basic wills. Now, when we get into trusts and things like that, a lot of people that we're seeing don't necessarily need to go into that direction of getting more of those, you know, sort of documents completed.
Yeah.
So it's a case-by-case basis, and I'd say, you know, we work directly with an estate planner. That way we can have synergy between the two of us and identify, you know, what's best for the client. Do they need to get into these expensive options like trusts and stuff like that? And oftentimes it's probably not.
Okay. All right.
You know, I always like to say, think of a trust as a bucket. You could put assets into that bucket and it removes it from your estate, okay? A will, you can't put anything in the will. It can just say, hey, make sure my kid gets my watch, make sure this guy gets my guns or my car or whatever. But trust, you can actually put assets into the trust, which can remove it from your estate, which can remove you from paying unnecessary estate taxes or even avoiding probate and things along those lines. But to Neil's point, you know, having access to an estate planning attorney to determine which legal documents are going to be best for you, again, different for everybody. But this is why, Cynthia, we created the Right Track Retirement Review, because these are all the areas that we go over with you. The Right Track Retirement System was designed with you in mind to help you determine if you're on the right track. It goes over the 5 key areas: income, taxes, investments, healthcare, and your estate planning. So all you have to do is pick up the phone, call us today, schedule your complimentary Right Track Retirement Review today. Call 1-888-382-1298.
Brian, thank you so much. Neil, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, thank you for spending time with us. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. We look forward to seeing you back 1 week from today.